for mobile apps to reduce cross-race recognition deficit. My name is Al, and my role was mobile apps on the front end.
And my name is Guangshi. My role mainly plays on the back end.
And my name is Liyang, and I'm working on the back end.
My name is Rivas, and I've been focusing on the front end.
I'm Siyu, and I'm basically focused on front end.
Our project sponsor is Joshua Coral, who's a social psychology professor here at Siyu, and his research focuses primarily on how we react to members of racial and ethnic outgroups, particularly focused in the tendency to associate these outgroups with threat.
So a quick introduction. CRD is a deficit between the accuracy of identifying faces within our racial groups and comparing those to other groups. The main project objectives were to help users reduce their CRD through training, and we've created an app that does just this.
What we have done for the front end is we update the UI to support selection of new facial sets in trainings, and we add new password recovery functionality, and also UI interface has been updated. Let's see a little demo about the front end. This is our front end demo. I designed the UI for the app, and the color is based on Siyu border.
And right here, we're going to demonstrate the password recovery functionality. So we click the login, and then this account's already been registered. But if I just change the password to some random stuff I'm typing on the keyboard, log in, it's going to say invalid email or password. No problem. You guys just click forget password and type the email, and then the password, type a new password. So one sec, typing a new password in, and then it needs to meet the requirements we have for a secure password. Same requirements that you have to satisfy when you create an account. So if you enter the high school, and if all this information that you're typing in matches what you created the account with, the database will let you recover your account. So if I click register, account successfully recovered, and then if I go back and I try to log in with that new password, it's going to let me in.
Another implementation that we added to this app is to select different facial sets. So previously it only had one facial set, but now we're able to choose from 4. So when you click train, there's a pop-up that comes up and you're able to select any of these groups. So let's try this one. And then once we go to any of these trainings, it'll show that facial group. So let's try memory match. This is just a help module. And now you'll see these facial sets.
Okay, now we have an iOS app and an Android app. So let's continue using the Android app. So in our menu, there's 5 options. A dashboard, it just shows you your history, and the option to train, it also shows you progress you've made. So if you click on train, select race, you go to the trainings task, which is a second tab. And here you have 4 options. So each one of these is a specific test for your CRD, helps you improve, and the levels get harder as you progress. And then if this button shows you your daily faces, so these are all the faces for today that you're tasked with memorizing. Each person has a name. When you're done, click finish, and then you can start the task, or you can start the task before, up to you. And then the next tab is history. History shows you all your stats. This account is pretty fresh, so there's not a lot. And then the next page is about us, and this is just general information about the app. And then the settings tab, and this is your email. You can also reset your password here and change notification settings. Finally, you can log out. It'll ask you to log out, and you're back at the home screen.
And what we have done for the backend, first is we expand the asset groups of faces vastly. And the second, we use machine learning to group all the photos. And then the third part, we designed an automatic processing of the photos. And let's take a look at the demo.
Generally speaking, to update the database, the first task is the batch move. We use Chicago face database as our face data set. Let's take a look at this face set example. We want to pick up neutral face for our projects. By reading the file names, we can identify the racial group, gender, and expression of the target. After the identification, we can distribute the image to corresponding folders and rename as numbers. Here is our folder structure. For each group branch, we have folders of daily assessment, pre-post assessment, and training. Moreover, under the training folder, we have 8 levels for these phases.
And a very crucial task is how we divide all the photos into 8 levels. We decide that for each level of our training game, we will pick up one target face and group it with 7 others from another cluster. With the level goes higher, the 7 others will be more and more similar to the target one, so that it is naturally a hard level to pass. And here is a model of our solution. First, we will use VGG FaceNet to extract features as embeddings. And then we will use these feature vectors to calculate cosine distances. These distances are then used to calculate similarity score. A huge similarity matrix is then constructed. After that, we can perform k-means clustering on it. And at the end, it will return group labels for all the photos. And let's take a look at our small test run. So in our test run, we only have 14 faces in this folder. And here is a visualization of our results. You can see because of the smaller size of our test run, we only assign 3 groups for all our photos. And the photos are automatically distributed into corresponding level. After we put the photos in the folders, we use the Node.js to call the responding ones to each level and communicate with the front end.
For the auto crop part, we use a hard cascade to detect the faces from the initial image and crop them. Here is the example.
And the last task is to add an oval to each face. And you can see here below is a very simple example. All right, that's all for our backend demo.
The project success derived from the preparation in the first semester and fruition of the product in this semester. We successfully help users to reduce their CRD through trainings and add functionality to the CRD app.
Here are a few lessons that we learned. We learned how to leverage each individual's strengths, and we also learned how to manage a project timeline through a detailed week-by-week schedule, as well as how to manage work distribution through front-end and back-end teams.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.